Thank you so much for being here. My name is Nav, and today I want to talk about my experience solo traveling as a woman in her young 20s. My first trip was to Bali back in 2022, and that trip changed my life. So I want to share some tips with you and kind of inspire you, and not only inspire but get you thinking about solo traveling being part of your path, and show you why it can potentially change your life as well as it did mine. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share why I did it, how I did it. I know I get a lot of questions from people asking me how I was able to do it. So if you don't know, I was actually in Bali for 6 months, and that's not something that's an easy thing to do. So I hope that this video provides you with some answers and what my mindset was when I went into this trip. Here are some things that I learned. Number one, everyone is on their own journey, and you should never ever compare your own journey to anyone else's. I know that it is a human tendency, it's very natural to compare ourselves with other people, but what solo travel taught me is that everyone is on their own journey, and everyone has a path that's laid out for them, whether they created for themselves or whether they are whether it's created by someone else. This is why it's very important to understand that you are in full control of the path that you are creating for yourself. If traveling is a huge dream of yours, like it is mine, you would need to make that happen for yourself. You cannot wait to, for things to be perfect. I know that a lot of people wait till they're either married. That's a huge thing. Like my parents, I remember my mom saying, wait till you're married and then you can go do whatever you want. It's like, no. I want to do this now, and guess what? I'm gonna do it now. So if you want something and you have a strong enough desire, you are gonna make it happen. You will figure it out. Just set that intention to actually do it, because if you don't set that intention and you don't set goals and you don't have a plan for how you're gonna make it happen, even if you have zero idea on how it's going to happen, let the universe figure that out for you. You are not in control of every little thing. Trust in that, whatever you believe that's up there. It can be God, it can be the universe, whatever you believe in. Put your faith in that thing to make it happen. But you need to do your part, and your part is simply setting that intention, and then make a plan for it. Move in that direction of what it is that you want. Show, that higher power, again, whatever you believe in, show that thing. Sorry, I don't want to say thing. I hope you guys don't get triggered when I say that. But, God, show the universe that this is what you want to do and you are in it 100%. This is your intention. You have a plan, you have goals, you have desires, and you ask guidance from that higher being, God, for help, and you will be surprised at just the things that are laid out in front of you. While traveling, I met people who were in their 50s, 40s, 30s, even women in her 20s like myself. And I remember having a conversation with a 50-year-old man, and he basically said that he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do in his life. And naturally, I'm sitting there, I'm like we were at a dinner setting, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? Like, you're 50 years old. How do you not have things figured out already? And this is just like conditioning. This is just conditioning, and we're taught to believe that things need to happen a certain way. When you expand your mind, when you expand the things that you see around you, when you surround yourself with other people outside of the environment that you're currently used to, you are going to realize that the world works in many different ways. People work in their own unique ways. That's why your own unique journey should never be compared to someone else. Another thing I learned is that making friends when you are solo traveling is so easy. Not only is it easy, it's fun. I had so much fun, you guys. When people see that you are solo traveling, they're actually more inclined to come to you and talk to you. And I'm not saying in like a creepy way, but in a safe environment, if you're just, out and about and you're meeting people and you share that you're solo traveling, they're going to invite you to places. They're going to, include you in your next plans. I remember when I First, so I lived in my own villa when I first got to Bali for a week, and it was actually very isolating. I share that in my vlog to Bali. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It was very isolating. I felt so alone. I remember crying myself to sleep at night because I was just thinking like, I can't believe I came across the world and I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling alone. So what I did was I ended up staying at a guest house, and a guest house is kind of like a hostel but a little bit more upgraded. So I had my own room and I had my own bathroom, but the pool is shared and the kitchen is shared, and there were 6 people living in this guest house, and we all instantly became really close friends. And I remember one of them inviting me out to a dinner. And I just feel like if you're in a couple, if you're in a relationship, or you're traveling with someone else, it's hard for other people to approach you because they already see that you're with someone else. But if you're alone, it opens up that possibility of you even going out to other people. I know that when I travel with someone else, I'm just so comfortable with that other person that I'm traveling with that I have no desire to make friends outside of my one friend. Let's finally get into the juicy part, which is how I did it. How was I able to live in another country for 6 months? Now, of course, there's so many logistics that go into it, such as having a visa and doing all of that. If you want, I can make another video around that. I just don't know if in my audience there's enough interest for that type of video, but let me know. I would love to make something like that for you. But one of the biggest things that has allowed me to travel for 6 months is having an online business. Being able to work from anywhere is something that I do not take for granted. I recognize it every single day that it is a blessing. It is a blessing that not a lot of people have. And just having an online business gave me that freedom to be able to go travel for 6 months. I know that if I was working within a company, I wouldn't even be able to leave for 6 days. Like, last thing I want to do is ask permission. Ask permission to do that. For what reason? I don't want to do that. I want to be able to live on my own terms, have the freedom and flexibility to be able to do that. So this was kind of the mindset that I was in when I first started traveling, and that kind of pushed me into making that happen. If having an online business scares you, trust me, it should not. It is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And I recommend starting a theme page, a page that's dedicated to any topic, and just talking about that topic and creating content around that topic. That is how you start to build a presence online, and that is how you start to build a brand. Now, if you want to learn from me and you want to learn how to create this for yourself so you can have the freedom, you can have the flexibility with your time, I have a course called Theme Page Academy where I go in depth on how I make money online from my Instagram, from my TikTok. So go ahead, and it's all linked below. You can read all the information and see if it's something that is, that could help you. Another reason I decided to solo travel is because I wanted to be more self-aware. I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but when we are just in the same environment, we see the same people, we are doing the same things, we have the same routine, we can become programmed to doing that thing every single day that we kind of lose vision of what our purpose on this earth is. Self-awareness and self-discovery is such a beautiful thing. When I travel, I am taking myself outside of the environment that I'm used to. So here's me in the environment that I'm used to, and I'm putting myself all the way over here. I'm not used to anybody. I don't have any friends here. None of my family is in here. None of the things that I'm used to is here. I have to figure everything out by myself over here. And that, in the process of figuring things out, you will figure things out about yourself. You are going to figure out your passions, your desires, your dislikes, your purpose in this world. I know, again, sounds hella cheesy, but it's the truth. Figure out why you are here on this earth. And it's really hard to do that when you are in that same environment, listening to the same people. Now, I can already see some of the comments that I might get because I've kind of talked about this on my Instagram before, and one of the things that you guys have shared with me is, Nav, I don't have the funds. How am I going to do this? And trust me, I did not either. I did not go to Bali First of all, when I booked that ticket, it was a one-way ticket, and I did not have plans to be out in Bali for 6 months. I was like, I remember telling my parents I'm only gonna go for like 2 weeks. And then I kept extending it, extending it because I loved it so much. And it ended up turning into a beautiful 6 month trip that I will forever look back at and be so proud of myself and so grateful for doing that. But if right now funds aren't a problem for you, start an online business. Do that theme page thing that I talked about. This is why I teach you guys the things that I teach you, is because I want you to be living your best life. And if that's travel, amazing. Like, traveling is life-changing, as as I just shared in this video. So if you don't have a plan right now, if you don't have the funds, put that faith in the universe, in God once again, and he, she, they, them will help you figure it out. Trust, have trust, put your faith in that, and do the work as well. It's not just about putting your faith and leaving it and then going on about your day, doing the same things again and again. No, that's not what we are doing. We're putting that faith, we're setting that intention, and then we are doing the work. Do the work. The work is the difference between just a desire and actually getting that desire. The gap, you want to know what the gap is? The gap is the work, doing the work. What are you going to do? What is your plan to make money? What is your goal? How are you going to get to where you want to get to? Do you have a plan for yourself? Do you even have goals? I want to call out some of you guys, and this is, again, my whole channel is also advice on what I would have loved to hear when I was, just getting started. These are the things that I would have loved to hear. So if I'm, creating this content and I'm sharing this with you and you're resonating with it, it's because I know how it feels. I have been there. It's, a stressful place, but trust me, have that faith in something and work towards your goals every single day. As cheesy as it sounds, it's the only thing that's going to bridge that gap. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it so that I know that you guys are liking this video, and I would love to create more content around this. So if you have any questions, let me know down below and I would love to create that for you. So thank you guys, and I hope you have an incredible rest of your day or night.